It's the curse of La Llorona. What's up? Where is the buzz? Tori Monet Creel here on the black carpet. We got up with cast and crew to talk their scariest moments. Mwahaha. Check it out.
Oh my God, it was so fun. It was so fun. I always knew who she was, and I always wanted to be in a scary movie. I love horror films. I love anything that has to deal with the supernatural or metaphysics, and I always wanted to be the scary element in a movie, and when this came up, it was just great. I just couldn't wait to do it.
How did you channel to get into character? Like, how did you prepare?
Well, I think just my own anger. Can I say that?
Yeah.
I guess my own anger, and I see her as a codependent woman who needs to be validated by a man, and when he takes his attention from her, she loses her mind to the point where this takes precedent over even her own children, and she commits the most heinous crime. When she realizes what she's done, it's like her mind unhinges, and she kills herself, and then this spirit is kind of in limbo. She's full of anger, full of sorrow, and just trying to remedy the situation, but she can't. Yeah.
What's your family say when they figure out you were playing La Llorona?
They were very excited. My mom also grew up hearing about her, and so she was like, oh my God, this is going to be great. So they were very excited.
Oh, the people I got to work with, I love them. Patricia, Ray, Sean, everybody is so great, and the kids. We just had a great time. We worked really hard because it's very athletic to be in a horror movie. Everybody's like screaming or crying or running, and so by the end of the day, we're all exhausted, but we had so much fun together.
Anything scary happened on set?
A lot of stuff. Ray had this crazy experience where his bracelet burst off his hand. There was a day where it was really, really hot and a cold chill just came through the house. There was another day where there was nobody supposed to be upstairs and we heard footsteps. It was just one of those kinds of things. Yeah. And I didn't believe in it at first, but now, yeah.
Where's the buzz? Tori Creel, good. How are you?
How are you?
Nice to meet you. I like that navy suit you got going.
Thank you very much.
First of all, I'm going to jump right into it. We talked about signing on for roles. What made you say yes to this movie?
What makes me say yes to this movie is the story. I didn't know that the story was based on a real Mexican myth, so I just jumped in and thought, wow, this is a fantastic, rich tale. And then once we got going, then I realized it was based on a real, Latino myth. So it was very exciting to be a part of that.
Do you have any myths that you believed in growing up or anything like that, or anything that was repeated in your family?
Well, I'm West Indian, so we grew up with Guyanese, yes.
A little knowledge, a little research.
Yeah. And so when I was growing up, we had something called Jumbi, or Jumbi man. And so whenever you were misbehaving or whenever something was going on that your parents wanted to keep you chill and cool, they said the Jumbi gonna come get you, the Jumbi, So that's what I grew up with. Yeah.
Did he ever get anybody that you knew?
Excuse me?
Did he ever get anybody that you knew?
Not that I know of, no. Yeah.
Anything scary or anything like that was already that happened on the set of filming?
While we were shooting one scene, it was a scene with a dead body, and after a while, this weird odor floated over the set. We were shooting in downtown LA near a bridge, and the weird odor smelled like it could have been a dead body, but the body on set obviously was a fake body, but we were smelling something that smelled real, just kind of mysterious, and it kind of floated in the air all night, and so that was a cool way to experience the scene because you really felt like you were smelling like dead, rotting flesh. And we still never figured out what that was about. Yeah.
Wow. I'm speechless after that. One last question. Scariest moment that you've had happen to you in your life or as a child, anything like that?
The scariest moments for me were getting up in the morning and delivering newspapers. Because I used to have to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, 4:30 in the morning to deliver newspapers. And so when you are delivering newspapers that time in the morning, it's still dark. And so when you walk up to somebody's porch, dogs jump out of nowhere, cats jump out of nowhere, and I just never got over that. Every morning I was terrified, but I wanted to make money so bad that I went to deliver those papers, but I dealt with all kinds of frights just doing my job.
We are glad that you made it safely from delivering papers. Any new projects or anything like that coming up?
Not right now, just Crystal La Llorona.
Hey, I guess we're twins right now.
You what?
Because we keep saying things at the same time.
We do, it's okay.
Tori, nice to meet you.
Great minds talk alike, talk at the same time. I don't know, I can't speak.
It's okay.
Like
we're not even really recording right now. This is like a fake thing, We're just here.
Exists.
I like your outfit.
Thank you.
Did you base it off of the movie at all? Because we got the horror vibes going on in the all black.
Oh, hell yeah, I did. I mean, I keep doing this. I'm like, I got a little cross because I think it's cute, but also because the movie. Yeah, totally did. Totally based it off horror. You know, I wanted to get in character for watching.
Growing up, I know you said you are Latino. What's your ethnic background? Talk us through that.
Okay. Mi papá, my dad is from Argentina, and I'm on his side. I'm Lebanese and Spanish as well, like Spain Spanish. And then on my mom's side, I'm just Irish, Scottish, French, German, all those things. She's from Texas, so yeah.
So, lots of different cultures.
I'm like a mix, which is fun and great and cool family reunion.
All right, diversity. Did you hear about the tale La Llorona growing up?
A little bit. I mean, my parents actually tried to keep me away from anything too terrifying, as in, like, don't watch scary movies, don't watch, anything PG-13 and all those things. So I think I heard it and mentioned, but not, like, they would never tell me about that.
Which is so crazy, because now you're in scary movies, now you're coming up in The Conjuring. Like, how did you get that transition?
I think it's just always it's always been drawn to me. I think, like, the supernatural. I've always been fascinated in it, so I think it was kind of bound to happen. But it was, it's interesting having grown up super not like watching any of that stuff and then going into that world. But yeah, I mean, I'm terrified of it, but I love it. Yeah.
Tell us about your role and your character in the movie coming up.
I play Daniela, and she is best friends with Mary Ellen, who's Madison Eisman, and Madison Eisman babysits Judy Warren. And so I come over and insert myself into this babysitting mess, and chaos ensues. She's really, really fun and sweet and funny, but also has a lot of heart. It all comes from, like, here. Yeah. And she's super interested in the supernatural as well, which is also me.
Works out really well. What has been your scariest moment, whether in life, childhood, anything?
I mean, I feel like I've had a lot, but the most terrified I've probably ever been in life was when I was a kid. I was just absolutely terrified of my doll, which is funny because, it's Annabelle. But, I would cry if I had to go upstairs by myself without my parents, just because I was convinced she was real. I'm sure that was just me being an imaginative child, hence why I'm an actor.
Is that crushed velvet?
Yeah, it is.
You are really, really fancy, and I'm digging it.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
No problem.
It's my horror movie, Oxblood Red, crushed. I like that. It's color of blood.
I wore a horror movie Cheetah, so I don't really know if that counts.
Beautiful. Yeah, right.
First of all, you're talking about you are the production designer.
Yes.
For La Llorona.
Yeah.
Talk us through, like, kind of the vision in your mind when you first signed on to this movie, and your inspiration for the sets as well.
Okay. Well, the key thing about this movie is it's a period piece. It takes place in 1973. So, my first job is making sure that rings true, which, of course, is a challenge, but something that I love to do. The second part was finding the right house for the characters to exist in. I think horror movies are a lot scarier if you start, particularly if it's going to take place at a house, where maybe in the beginning you feel safe in the house. It's a comfortable place. It's a warm place. It's a family place. It's chaotic. It's a single mom, and there's stuff everywhere. Lots of lived-in feeling, and then something not so good coming along later on. And I think it tells a better story, and has potential to affect people more when they're watching the movie. So that was a big part of my process.
So what type of things did you add to the house to kind of creep people out a little bit towards the end?
When we get into the second half of the movie, we spend a little bit more time upstairs. Definitely the color palette gets darker, which, if your background is dark, you can't see shadows as well. So that helps, right? What's in that shadow in that dark corner. And I added some wallpaper up there, which was a vintage 1930s floral green, and the green can always be a little creepy. It's a little bit like the doctor's office and or rot, rotten something. So, that's always a good touch to put in, and the vintage quality of it too can feel sometimes a little eerie.
I was going to say, you did a really good job, because from watching the trailer, I'm already shook, and I haven't even seen the full movie.
That's great. Good.
One last thing. We're talking scary moments. Do you have anything creepy that happened on set while you were filming the movie or anything like that?
No, not for me. I've heard stories from other people. Like, I actually read it in the press somewhere. But no, I just, I'm like, move that lamp, like.
Scariest life moment that you've had, or scariest moment?
Oh. It's kind of a story. You want to hear it? When I was a kid, I was in the 70s, actually. I was on the beach with my friends, and I saw something out in the water. I'm like, what is that out in the water? And we watched it for a while. We couldn't tell what it was. It either looked like a big balloon and some of the older boys swam out, pulled it in, and it was a body. It was somebody that had gotten in an airplane crash in where I grew up. And they brought him out on the sand, and he was all bloated and like pale, and then, of course, because that's around the time when Scooby-Doo was on TV, then I would lie there in my bed with the door open and the hall light on. I kept on thinking that he'd show up with seaweed on him, Yeah, I mean, it was very tragic, actually. It's not funny, but...
No, that's scary. That is scary.
We're just kicking it on the beach, eating chocolate bars and swimming, and all of a sudden there's this dead person there. It was something.
Yeah. Alrighty then. We will look. I'm sorry that's your scary moment, but I'm glad that it ended up aiding your career, and we are looking forward to seeing this movie. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Take care. Have fun.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I actually did myself today.
Yeah. Oh, she looks good. I think we're pretty much rolling. First of all, are you looking forward to seeing the film?
Oh yes, absolutely. I love horror, and I'm so excited. It seems like a really great movie.
Speaking of horror, you do some pretty scary stuff.
I do.
Stand for you.
Thank you so much.
What is your favorite part of playing this?
I think something that's so great about being Mia Smoke, which is new for me to actually finally get to say because I'd keep that in wraps for so long, is that she is someone who is an amalgamation of such fantastic characters that have really been brought to life by Stephen and Emily in such a great way, and their relationship on the show has been built in such a beautiful way that to get to pull pieces from that while adding whoever Mia is in and of herself, it makes for a lot of fun and a lot of cool little nuggets I can throw in there.
Have to go. Scariest moment that you can relive?
Scariest moment that I can relive? Every time Dom Sherwood scared me on the set of Shadowhunters. Some of the scariest moments of my life. I jump really easily. Not a lot actually scares me, but I jump super easily. And Dom found that out very quickly, and he's very good at pranks. And obviously that, or Isaiah Mustafa, who's also here to see. Gotta watch my back. But those two are the prank masters, I'll tell you that.
We'll keep out for you.
Good, how about yourself?
Fancy. Actually, okay, so just wanted to know that you're really cool because I got on a Pika ring and you got on a Pika ring, so you must be cool.
Right, we're styling.
Not too mad at it, but talk about Shazam. First of all, it's a pretty great movie and it's doing really, really well.
It's the #1 movie in the world, you know what I'm saying? The Rock said it, it's gotta be true. I mean, I'm just so excited because this is such a beautiful film because it has so many different aspects that, we need to see in films nowadays because we are a foster family and we are such a diverse cast. And that's something I think is really beautiful because it's more relatable to these kids. And that's what the fan base is, kids and adults. And now these people have someone to look up to that's, their color or their race. So that's a beautiful thing. Okay.
Did you have to pull from... What type of experiences did you have to pull? You have an eyelash on your cheek. Hold on.
Do I?
Yes.
Okay.
You want me to get it off? Or other side?
Yes.
Boom. Okay, we can cut that part off. Okay, let me do it again in 3, 2. When you're talking about you actually are in a foster family, what type of experiences did you have to pull from in order to pull that off? Or did you even talk with foster families?
Well, actually, my character is just being so shy. It actually worked perfectly. I didn't really have to interact that much during these scenes. But I do know being an only child, it's something that I got a new experience out of it because these kids genuinely made me feel like I had brothers and sisters. And I think it was a beautiful thing. And that's something I hold dear to my heart, and it's a memory I'll always have.
So you're an only child. Do you have only child syndrome?
What is that?
I don't know. People tell me I have only child syndrome. They're just like, do you like to share?
No. If I'm being honest.
Okay, you might have it. And then one last question. So it's of course it is La Llorona. What is your scariest like life moment, childhood moment that you've had?
Well, one time I tried roller skating, and my mom like wrapped me in bubble wrap and put a pillow in my butt so I wouldn't get hurt. But it like scared me to the point where I am almost traumatized to do roller skating.
What scared you? Did you fall?
Yeah, and it hurt still with the padding. So I was like, without the padding, it probably hurt worse.
Have you been roller skating since? I'm guessing no.
No, I don't step anywhere near roller skates.
Not too bad. And then one last question. Any new music we got going on? Projects can we?
Actually, excuse me, I have 3 songs that are brand new and they're just ready to come out. And I actually have a show coming up April 24th at the Globe Theater. You guys can get your tickets on my website, javonamon.com. The link should be in there somewhere, just a little searching.
Okay, just because this is Where is the Buzz and we always got to get what's buzzing. Can you sing us a little bit from your song or something that we can have and say, you're watching Where is the Buzz TV?
From the new song or just any song?
New song.
Okay. Well, there's 3, so let me pick one of them.
You can ring flex.
No, okay. Let me think. Creme brulee on my plate. I've been hanging with the greats. Who gon' try to eat today? Gotta go and get your pay. When you sleep, they tryna eat. When you awake, they gonna peek. That's just how the game be. Might make you crazy. Ah! And then it gets crazy from there.
I was gonna say I'm shook. I'm shook on the carpet. All right, so nice meeting with you and enjoy the movie.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Hey guys, I'm Catherine McNamara. You're now watching Where's the Buzz?
Hi, I like buzzing with Where's the Buzz. Hello, my name is Katie Sarife, and you are buzzing with Where's the Buzz.
Hope you're not too scared after all of that. La Llorona premieres in theaters April 19th.